sound guy.
Welcome to AM 1620, The Worm, the Couch Show,
It's looking good, huh?
420. Yeah, it was awesome because as soon as I put it on, yeah,
Nice.
it
Nice.
was really
Love
cool.
it.
So, hope everybody's doing well. Happy Earth Day out there to everyone. So, thanks for tuning in. We're down a castmate.
We're not all packed in like sardines this week, though.
Nope. So he's taking care of some business, and so we're going to go ahead and make a quick announcement as far as the show that we need to get out
Yep.
to let everybody know. So starting on next week, we're going to do this show on Mondays
Yes.
for scheduling and everything, everybody, and it's going to come a little bit later because I host Open Jam at Patch and Remington's on a Monday from 7 to 9. So it'll be about 9:15, 9:30, something like that. We'll get going. And so it's going to allow us
In order to capture it live, but
Yeah.
you can always watch it later.
anytime you want.
Yep.
Anytime
That's
you
the
want.
beauty of YouTube.
Yep.
Yep.
But if you wanted to catch it live, if you're wondering, whoa, my Tuesday night's all jacked up. What happened? Boom. There you go.
It's all
That's
jacked
what's
up for us, too.
Yeah. So
This will work out better, I think, for everyone's schedule, so we can all participate as much as we can,
Yes.
instead of this on and off. Sometimes all three of us will be here,
Yeah.
sometimes not. So.
Yeah, because ultimately it helps with scheduling too, because we don't have to run from. Well, technically, we're still running from something. It's just easier.
It's just you. You're just running. You're just running. You almost said we're running from something. You're always running from something, Joe. Always. You're the one that does all the running.
So,
really.
but
yeah, we've usually Tuesdays are important meetings, and
Yeah.
it's hard to switch gears between heavy things, important things, big topics, serious topics, to then let's be goofballs and
Yeah.
just talk about BS. That's a really weird, hard shift to
Yeah.
make.
versus Open Jam, a little bit
Hard,
more lenient.
feeling great,
Yeah.
good things happening. Yeah.
It's like go right into it.
Yeah.
So anyway, so that'll be Monday night. That's the first big announcement we wanted to make.
Yep.
And I guess to get some of these announcements that are important right out. So,
Community stuff.
Yep, community stuff now. We have coming up May 3rd at the historic 1886 G.W. Jones House. That's located at 188 East Main.
No, West Main.
West Main. Sorry, 188 West Main. It's here in the village of Marcellus.
Yeah.
And it's open for self-guided tours Saturday, May 3rd from 3 to 5:30 p.m. The admission is free and everything. And so it's sponsored by the Marcellus Area Historic Society. So that will be happening and everything. That's something that's kind of going on.
For those of you who live in Marcellus, everyone knows it as the Big Blue House.
Yes.
For those of you who maybe are outside of Marcellus, but maybe pop by and come into the village sometimes, again, address 188 West Main. We've lived here for 2 years. I know we've been invited to come take a look inside, and just schedules haven't worked, but I'm super stoked to go check it out. I think they've done a good job of keeping historical artifacts that relate to the Jones family, Marcellus area history. They've got some stuff in there to check out also that relates to the house.
Definitely.
And from the exterior, it's beautiful. And if you talk to Al Lynn, it's haunted.
Yes,
So
yes.
there's all kinds of cool things.
Always
happening in
believe
that house.
Al.
Yeah.
Al F and Lynn will always tell you the truth.
Some story at least.
Yeah.
Oh, the truth. That's
Yeah,
what you're saying.
yeah,
Sorry,
yes,
not
yeah,
a story.
yes,
The truth.
yes.
Okay. So anyway, go check that out. Admission's free. This is a passion project for sure.
Yes.
And so any support we can give to our dear friend Kay.
Yeah.
And her sister, who is
Yeah.
also a member of the Historical Society. I think it's wonderful to be connected to our past and the care and love that they have for those particular homes and our buildings in our town. You could just tell there's a lot of pride in that home when you go by. It's beautiful. So go support her. Check out a local area historical feature. And this also gives her an idea of how receptive the community would be to an actual museum. We won't go down that road, but
3 to 5:30.
May 3rd.
May 3rd. And the day before, May 3rd is May 2nd, which happens to be First
Oh,
Friday.
yeah, our very first one of the year this year.
So yeah, it is happening, and so so come down, get ready to come down. That's going to be on May 2nd, and that will be 5 to 8,
usually,
I believe,
yeah.
is what it's going for.
Centennial
So
Park, which is the old gazebo. Now that we have
vendors,
two.
live music, we'll have the whole routine and
Yep,
everything,
yep.
and so
Pretty close to what it was last year. Food truck.
Yep,
Um,
I know.
some businesses might still be, and vendors might still be getting contacted by the
Yes.
DDA, so give them some grace. It's a new board.
Yep,
They were started out a little bit behind the ball with having to get a new board together and then figure this out.
yep,
So it's late notice for May, but you should be getting contacted if you are typically a vendor. Our food trucks are getting lined up. My husband Joe, this wonderful guy, is taking on the music part of it to make sure we have entertainment. So it's getting there. But May
Yeah,
2nd,
yeah.
first Friday.
yes.
Yep.
So that's something you can participate and look forward to, and everything, and so.
And if I'm not mistaken, that's the same day as a new exhibit at Patch and Remington, an art gallery opening.
At 115 East Main Street.
Correct. Yep. And this is one I don't think people are going to want to miss.
Yeah,
we
this
have
is
Little
gonna-
Murray told us kind of what it's about, and this is going to be a neat exhibition.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you definitely should pop in there and check it out.
Yes, and it will be definitely something you'll want to check, because I think it's going to be, usually art shows and everything are kind of, unique in their own perspective and everything, but they're you kind of have a mold, if you will, to kind of go by and everything. And I
Sure.
think this one's trying to, I don't want to say too much,
Break
but
the
this
mold a
one's
little bit.
break the mold and kind of make you realize
Yeah.
kind of what's going on and stuff and everything. So that'll be.
It's maybe we should use the word thought provoking.
Thought
provoking.
Yeah, thought provoking art gallery exhibit opening will be at Patch and Remington, May 2nd, at 5 p.m. I think it's pretty much goes till 8. There's going to be live music. I will be involved in some of that myself too, but looking forward to that. It's not the main reason you want to come down. You want to come down for the whole thing and just support it, and also go visit all the other businesses and vendors that'll be in town.
Yep.
And just let's try to keep this going, because it's already tough with everything that we're dealing with sidewalks and all that. So let's just keep moving and try to have some kind of
Send some community.
instead of a roadblock, let's just keep moving forward with some
Yeah.
positive energy and try to build on this and
Yeah.
and make this happen. Speaking of building on and everything, I want to give a quick shout out to a couple things. I'd like to give a shout out. We had trivia last Saturday at Patch and Remington, and we would like to thank everybody that came out.
Yeah.
We'd like to thank Tony also for providing, because we had a open bar there for the 21 and up, and
Not open, but a bar.
excuse me. But we appreciate him for being bartender and taking care of that, and the people that did come out, and so that we'd also like to thank our sponsors for that.
Yeah, every month so far. Granted, this is only month number 2.
Yeah.
But boy, have they knocked my socks off with
Yeah.
their commitment to sponsoring this and being able to offer awesome prizes.
Yes,
So,
yes.
Go ahead.
And Terrell's Market.
Yep.
Blake and the gang there are doing tremendous things, and just proud of the market and what Blake's trying to make happen there, and the whole crew. And big shout out to Dustin that does his big gig there and everything.
Yeah,
If he
good
hears
stuff.
this, so
Yep.
proud of him, and I know he's super proud to have that gig held down. Also, another sponsor of it is the Woods. And speaking of the Woods, I'd like to give a big shout out to Becky and the gang for asking me to come over to play music, and the response from my fellow musicians and everybody, that it was just positive, and just it was a good event, and it's proud to see so many people kind of visiting the place on a Sunday during the day, and so appreciate Becky and the gang giving that stage and opportunity for people to showcase, because I was able to do my tie-dyes and do music over the weekend, and again, just trying to bring over
Just community.
stuff that's happening,
yeah.
and so the response was really positive. So not only is it important to talk about the things that are coming up, but it's important to talk about the things that we've done and the things that are happening, to let people know that we appreciate it, and that there is things happening a lot of stuff happening.
Yeah.
People are trying to do their thing. And speaking of something else coming up, I'd like to give a big shout out because I think he's just made the announcement. Our buddy George Markle has announced.
Oh, that's a little bit far still. That's a few date wise. So let's hold off on that really quick.
Well, let's just say he's going to be throwing a workshop soon. Can I just throw that out there?
Yeah, then we can go back and get specifics because I don't want to get too far. There's a couple things I wanted to mention as you were talking.
Yes,
so,
sorry. Thank you for your patience.
You're good. So when you were down at the woods this weekend and did the tie-dyes on Saturday, the music on Sunday, they also had Drive-Thru Q down there, food truck, for their weekend promotion. And I had a smash burger from Drive-Thru Q, and that thing was seasoned to perfection. It was a very good hamburger. And so as we were talking to them, I think they'll come back obviously in the summer. They pop up a lot of places. But they did mention that they were going to be at the Dollar General this Wednesday, meaning tomorrow. Wednesday, the 23rd.
Yeah.
So we've got a little pop-up lunch spot in town, down in the Dollar General parking lot. I know they have their own social media, but I just wanted to give that shout out because that smash burger was very delicious and good people. So
and word of mouth is better advertisement than any.
That's
so
exactly it.
Especially when you're not seeking it.
There was that piece, and then also, if I'm not mistaken, I haven't heard confirmation fully, but I do believe that Terrell's is getting their electric revamped at the beginning of May as well. They're trying to work it where it's over the days that they're closed. So Monday will be the big day, of course, for the majority of the work because they don't want it to influence the business too much. But they might have some things happening in the store that week with the electricians in there working and stuff. And so, just again, be patient. Upgrades, moving forward, progress, always a good thing. That's happening May 5th, I think, was the tentative date. So we're just waiting on confirmation.
So think ahead on that a little bit. Get your foods.
Yep, exactly. Just in case. In case something goes wrong, you never know. They might have to close for another day or something. But also, when they reopen, there'll be a nice little surprise, a little refresher happening in the store. And so I'm super excited about that. I will leave it as a surprise.
Okay, that's all they're getting. There's no more carrot dangled or anything.
I don't think so. I think we'll just do a reveal when it's ready.
I love it.
But I'm super excited for this. I've been waiting for this day to come. So excited about that. So first week of May. Now I think we're past that first week. We can go into some of the other things.
It's that's just fine and everything. I think it's a lot happening, but that's important. So I guess trivia for May will be May 17th, the third Saturday.
Yep.
So we'll go ahead and put that out there just so you can mark your calendars. That'll be at Patch and Remington at 7 p.m. On Saturday. And that will be May 17th.
Sounds like our reigning champs are coming back.
Yes, the reigning champ.
Possibly the second reigning champ because we now have two
Yes, they will
winners.
Be back. Yes.
Not the same team, so now they have to compete and see who's going to reign champion on that one.
Yes.
But now we can go into our good buddy George Markle.
Yes, Mr. George.
May 17th.
May 17th also.
In the daytime.
During the daytime, you can do this and then just, I don't know. Hang out. And maybe, I don't know, just chill out. So anyway, you probably go say hi to Electric Moon for sure.
Yeah.
So anyway, he's going to be doing a stained glass workshop.
Yep.
And talk about awesome. I will say, my mother-in-law is pretty badass.
Well, Mom does
mosaic.
Exactly. Glass mosaic. Different than stained.
But I just want to give shout out to.
That's nice.
Mom's-in-law.
Good I like that.
Yeah. So George is stained glass artist. And he's going to be doing a workshop. So I think he can do, he said,
it's very
limited. Very limited.
6 seats only.
Yes.
6 seats.
Yes.
So he's got the information on his page. We didn't get it tonight before we started. We forgot to do that. Yeah. We said we were going to and we forgot. But it will be posted on Patch and Remington's page.
Yeah.
And so details on cost, what you get for that class. But again, very limited seating. So you're going to want to sign up sooner rather than later.
Yeah. And we're sorry if you're commenting on the show.
Oh yeah, we're
a 2-man crew today, and so
our tech people are. Hi. Oh, Adrian, hi.
Hey, how you doing? Good to see you. Good to tune in. Thanks for tuning in.
And then we got I'm sorry, can you catch me up? I just joined. No, that's a lot. We do a lot. Sorry. I'm not sure who that is. That is the bearded.
That's awesome.
Wait, the beardy bomb? You know who that is?
No. Thanks for checking that. Yeah. We're multitasking here, but we appreciate you dropping the comment. Maybe give us a blue heart or a thumbs up if you don't mind. Well, they think that helps in the algorithm.
So you say.
So they say. Well,
is that your algorithm that it helps with?
No, I mean.
Who says this blue heart scenario? Who came up with this?
Okay,
other than you?
Okay. I'll just tell you. Okay. There's this kid, and I say kid, I mean he's like 22. So anyway, he says it in the videos I watch of him sometimes. The ones I see, he says now, drop a couple blue hearts because it gets the algorithm kicking.
So do you think he means acid?
No.
Drop a couple blue hearts?
No, not at all.
The algorithm's kicking?
No, dog. I mean,
come on. There seems like there's a lot of innuendo there.
No, he's not that kind of kid.
Okay, so here's my other question.
Yeah.
How many followers does this kid have?
Like 1 million point something now.
Who are you watching that has that many followers?
On YouTube?
Yeah.
Well, I've told you about him. I mean, I don't really want to say his name out right now because I want to blast him, and then people go, well, okay. So, but I've told you about it.
Why do I not remember this?
Yeah, I don't know. But,
as soon as we get done? If he has that many followers, you're not blasting him. It sounds like he's already popular.
No, he is. I just don't want to, I don't want...
What do you watch? What does he do? What's his shtick?
He just talks about things going on in the world.
Okay, I know who you're talking about. Okay, I got it.
Yeah, he's just.
Do you know why he says that? The algorithm, so that you can get the right people to watch. You. Okay,
he doesn't say the right people.
But that's what he's going for. This is different. I don't like this blue heart scenario thing you're trying to do here. Listen. I have to live with this thing. I have to live with this thing, guys.
It sounds like, I mean, to be honest with you, this is just like a living situation where husband and wife, also like in a band situation or any kind of collaboration situation, you have multi opinions and voice, so you have to go, okay. Right. So in this case, we're like, there's no way to kind of solve anything.
I agree.
So because there's not an extra vote.
You know what I mean? Put the damn blue heart in there, if nothing else, for my husband Joe.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, and if you don't want to put that blue heart, you go, that's a dumbass idea. Then say that's a dumbass idea.
Okay, that's a good way.
Anyway.
Okay.
So, just want to give one quick shout out to, as we're wrapping up the announcements right quick. Our good buddy Hayden and his crew, lawn service. Yeah. Marcellus Lawn Care.
Correct.
Phone number is 269-587-0906. There you go. Give him a call if you need some help there. That's what I got to say for him.
I like
Thank
that.
you.
Yeah,
so short and simple. Not gonna. So anyway, all right. Well, that's the end of the announcements.
At least the research that was very minimal that we've done tonight. To be fair, we weren't super prepared for tonight's show like we usually are. Usually you, Justin, have this down, and tonight we were like, yeah, these are the things that are happening kind of recent, soon-ish. But we didn't go out and look for other things either, and usually we do. But it's just, I guess life.
I guess to be honest with you, our buddy's not here, so I should do the shout out for what he does on Monday. So with Smart Recovery and everything, he's hosted it on Mondays at Patch and Remington. So if you need your, whatever you might need, a little light in your life, or just someone to chat with, or whatever, and be a part of something that is, what you
bigger
need. Then that's where you go, and I'm honored to. He does this, and I think it's tremendous. The response for it, and also the recognition he's kind of getting a little bit too for. the work he does, because he's really tremendous in what he does.
Yep,
so
I agree.
Just a big shout out to you, Justin, and we miss you tonight, but that goes on also on Mondays. You can look that up under the Marcellus Area Recovery his page and everything.
Active in Recovery.
Active in Recovery. So,
Active in Recovery.
and he'll be posted on Marcellus forums and everything too, as he does.
Yeah. Good job remembering that.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I feel like we kind of summed up.
And food bank. That's the only other thing.
Oh yeah, I was going to chat. Yeah, the food bank and everything is Wednesdays, 9 to 11 a.m. Both of those. Estella and the gang over there are really doing tremendous work. If you need to get in touch or need something for the food pantry at different time and everything, where your scheduling just doesn't really work out, Stella always makes sure that people have food in our community, and so you can go on the Facebook page and get the number and reach out to her, and she will be glad to
accommodate your hours.
Yep, your hours or whatever that she can. It might not be that day, but she will definitely make it happen. So Wednesday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m.
Okay.
That's the regular store pantry hours. Okay. So again, big shout out for you guys, what you do over there. Since we're over on that area, Patty and the gang at the Woods.
No, at the library.
I mean, at the library. Sorry, at the library. Tremendous. I thought the Wood Towns
Wood Memorial,
because on their Facebook page, that's how it comes up. So anyway, tremendous. Our little local library is just awesome. So go by and see them, say hello, and just anything you need, they've got, and you can even print stuff there.
That's what we do a lot. Yeah,
we just throw them a couple bucks, and that's what we do. Yep. So.
Who needs a printer?
Grateful for you.
Library.
Grateful for you guys. So
the library, as you say sometimes.
That's right.
I'm sure it drives them nuts.
So, it's like strawberries.
Strawberry library. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, in a southern way, certainly is. Yeah, I think those are announcements. I think we did all right.
Yeah, I think we did great. So welcome to
we weren't prepared at all.
Yeah, welcome to the after announcements part of the show.
Yeah. This is where shit gets real wild.
Yeah, this can get a little out there sometimes.
I mean, last week we were everywhere. It was chaos.
Yeah.
It was chaos. It was fun.
Yeah, it's like the solar system.
I think we were celebrating a little bit too. We had a pretty good win, I think, in terms of forward momentum and the right direction on some of the things that we've been facing just downtown. This isn't a show where we want to go into like ranting and raving about stuff we want to do this for fun, but it was positive direction, and so it was a little bit of a celebration for us. I think we were kind of in that mode. And then good old T-Bone Tone happened to be in town, so he came and hung out with us. He came and hang out. He came and hung out with us, special guest. I got in front of the camera with you too, which was wild. In the middle. So it was just a crazy, fun, goofy show last week, and it was everywhere, and I loved it. It was just bonkers.
Yes, it was like the big city interchange.
Yeah. Which way do I go?
Yeah, and it just somehow...
and like the whole time, this is what's happening in my head, because I'm trying to watch you do it.
Yeah, sometimes it just works. Most of the time it works. Other times you sometimes might have an accident. Yeah. You just hope it's just a minor fender bender where everybody can continue on.
That's right.
So that's what happens in those weird situations there. So that's,
it's bound to happen sometimes.
We'll see.
Once we get into a routine with the three of us. I've always said over there off camera, but Justin's got all these really great, cool features and toys and technology that we're certainly not using tonight. We're just using a good old-fashioned phone. Hence us not being able to interact and see comments.
Yeah.
Usually we've got a computer.
Yeah. We'll be in that. We'll get this solved.
Yeah, it's all coming. It's just
we got new
we didn't want to not do a show, and so sometimes it's just easier to just work with what you got. Anyway, and so I've been kind of a floating head over there, just gabbing away. And with some of our technology, we realized it was really weird because I talk a lot, and so it's just this voice, but no face to go with it. And so we said, well, let's try and just squeeze us all in the picture then. Even though it's out of my comfort zone, I have fun doing this, so I'm just going to be all in and say F it.
Yeah.
So That'll, we'll get in the groove, I think, eventually with the three of us.
Yeah.
The three of us on camera and a guest. That was the tipping point of chaos.
Well, and I think that's
the pot boiled over last
yeah.
week.
Well, I think that's the part is like, to have the special guest here and there that especially you're not really, you didn't know, like necessarily it was going to happen, because sometimes it doesn't always work out, but the door is always open.
Yeah.
And so that's one of those things where we enjoy, and again, I think that's the part that I like about what we're doing is kind of, it's the freedom, it's the unknown, kind of like we want to have the announcements of like an informative show, but at the same time we want to kind of just chit chat a little bit
and just goof off.
Yeah, just different things you see and stuff like that. And, I think that's one of
it is a lot of community centric stuff that we talk about anyway that just kind of consumes our lives. But, that's because we're just involved and we care and we want to do stuff in our community. We want to see this place grow and evolve and progress and all those things. So a lot of what we do in our regular everyday lives are like centered around that. So naturally on our downtime, that's what we talk about. Especially because you're down at the store a lot in the evenings. I'm working in the daytime. You're doing school with me in the daytime. So we don't have a lot of time to just like sit and chat about the things going on in our world. So this type of show ends up being what it is. Where it's just part of, naturally that's what happens. But
well, I think we should maybe chat, because we haven't yet too much. Why don't you share with our viewers out there a little bit kind of what you're involved with as far as you and our neighbor, Mr. Jim.
Oh, I was like, what are you talking about? You got serious for a second.
Yeah.
I was like, what am I involved with?
Yeah,
Mr. Jim. Shout out to Mr. Jim.
Yeah.
So he's our neighbor. Okay, so how about we start from the beginning on this one?
Yeah, I just said we hadn't really talked about it to where you
think we've mentioned it a couple of times, but not like in depth.
Yeah.
When we first moved here, he was one of our first neighbors we met. So this is what we do as people. We like made some Christmas cookies and delivered them and introduced ourselves. Like, hey, we're here. Just, it's what you do. And so we did that, got introductions to everybody, and we sat and chatted with them for a minute. And literally in our first conversation, he tells us how old he is. And I was blown away. There's no effing way he's that old. Because this man's out in the yard working all the time. He's putting around with stuff. His brain is sharp.
Yep.
Not that he's ancient, but he's in his 80s, we'll say.
Well, you're just in Michigan. You're not in like Arizona or Florida or Southern California where you go, yeah, they're 80 and they've been moving around all the time.
Yeah.
You're going, no, they hibernate in the winter.
Yeah.
Like, how is this happening?
Exactly.
So anyway.
Yeah, he looks great. I mean, he's, youthful.
Got a nice beard.
He does have a nice good beard right now and a beautiful haircut that he just got down at Posh Salons, by the way.
Yeah, big shout out to Posh.
So, at any rate, meet him, super friendly, great, whatever, move on. So now we've lived here for a couple of years, and as time has gone on and we've interacted more, I realized, boy, I just love he and his wife, and like we could be great friends. And so that's what we've done is we hang out in the summer and all that stuff. So last year, February of last year was our first show. February 11th, I feel like, of 2024. So
dang, we should have a celebration.
I was posting different beers that I was trying, different drinks, whatever. Whenever I go travel places, I like to try new food and I like to try new drinks. And so I was posting those on my personal page, and he was always kind of commenting like, oh, that looks interesting, or oh, that's fun. Now, mind you, we can see him right out of our back door, right out of our back window. Every day, he and Sully, his dog, would go out to the garage for beer 30, we called it. Oh, there goes Jim and Sully for their nightly beer.
Yep.
And they'd go hang out in the garage together, he and his dog.
Guaranteed.
Every night. And so he's a beer drinker. And so I got this idea of like, he likes beer so much, maybe he'd like to do a show with me on just hanging out, drinking beers, and just talking about it, right? We're not professionals, but we like to try new things. And so he at first was like, hey, this seems a little out of my comfort zone, but let's give it a shot. Yeah. And so now we meet regularly, and we do recordings for the AM station to play on the actual radio, but we don't have anything on the internet yet.
But he's coming
he's coming around with the idea. And then I thought, well, maybe we could post at least the audio with a picture of the beers that we've tried and at least have that on the YouTube station. Yep. So Jim and I sit out there once a week. And we each bring one beer to the table to try. We try to focus on craft beers if we can, but our main criteria is a beer that you can, as a Marcellus resident, you can get it within a 20-mile radius of where we live. And
That's
that
right.
way, anybody in town can have the opportunity to try
That's right.
the same beer that we have.
Yes.
That's our main focus for the podcast. And so we've been hanging out every week for the last year, drinking beers together. I think we're up to, I'd have to go back and count, but I think we've easily tried 100 beers together. And he's building a shelf in his garage to house our beer can collection.
Maybe we can get. Do you think he would be okay with the AM station doing a quick short video of the collection and everything?
Once it's done? Yeah, totally.
Totally.
And I did start an Instagram page, and let me tell you, this man, he might not be great at technology and social media in terms of setting it all up, but he is a promoter. Because now every week that we meet, he is on it, reminding people that Instagram page exists. Don't forget, you can subscribe and you can follow us.
We need to figure out how to link that to
our Instagram handle is Back Alley Brews MI, and it's BREWS. So Back Alley Brews MI, all run together. So give us a look, because there is pictures of each of the beers we've tried. Little short description, what our rating was.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Proud of you.
So it's been just a joy. It's really has been a highlight of our time living here, to be honest. I look forward to it. I know he does.
Yeah.
It's just a really fun thing to do.
Yeah. And the
we-
weather's getting nicer now too.
Yeah, so now it'll be more like back porch brews,
Yeah.
but because we've been hanging out in the garages. But same thing. We welcome anyone if they want to come have a beer with us and give us their input. You just reach out to the radio station and they'll connect you.
I think maybe what we should do, man, if you should talk
Man?
to yeah, man.
Hey, man, hey, dude.
Hey, man, you
Hey,
should talk to your buddy and see what he thinks about sometime in July of having a barbecue in the back alley where the radio station kind of broadcasts from there. And then,
Well, we talked about, he and I were like, let's do a beer-a-thon,
Yeah.
kind of. Not
Yeah.
like get wasted,
Yeah.
but just have like some beer for
Yeah.
people to just pop by and here, have a beer with us.
I like it.
And we just kind of feature that
Yeah.
for like, a day's period. And, it might not be the same beer that we've tried or tasted, but we'd make sure we had a beer to
Yeah.
share with folks. They might be a little more of your commercial beers because they're just a little more affordable. But just hopefully to have people come back in and
Yeah.
just have like this steady stream of folks all day long.
Yeah, I like it.
And as we joke, hey, at least we won't have to drive home.
Yeah,
we can
exactly.
just stumble on up in the yards.
Yeah, and most people can walk, or either they'll come up in their golf carts or whatever.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know
So-
how that works exactly with.
Well, that is drinking and driving.
Yeah, maybe it's
but
just one
we
beer.
that's what we were talking about. Is he and I would be there all day to kind of have a beer with
Yeah.
folks, but they get one from us.
Yeah.
Whatever they've had before or after
Yeah.
is up to them.
And maybe you just have like a tiny, like a little bit larger than a shot glass.
We
but
give
like-
everybody a beer. Like if you get a free beer, you're coming to visit somebody, man. Not we'll give you a sip of beer.
No, you say.
Jim and I will slowly drink our
Okay,
beers.
okay. I mean, you guys do. I'm not getting involved in this,
I know.
like, because I don't need to be involved in this. But like,
Hey, you can be the rest of the radio station.
I will. I mean, I will. I'll be involved, but like, I just,
Okay,
I-
so we'll have somebody on the grill,
yes.
and we'll have a back alley party, back alley brews party.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I
Yeah,
love this.
like a just celebration you're in town, like in
All right,
maybe
maybe after 4th of July.
Yeah, I'll try to have the song for the Back Alley Brews done by then,
Okay.
and maybe we can debut that, and maybe that can be the lift-off party for you guys
Going on to the YouTube.
or some kind, even if it's not a full show of doing
Yeah.
some kind of like like so. Anyway, thank you for. I just thought we'd give a moment because we've chatted about, but not really
Yeah.
talked about it,
Yeah.
kind of like. And so, Mr. Jim, and
He's
you
my Michigan
deserve
bestie for sure.
you deserve the shout out just for what you guys accomplished. And I think it's. I mean, I haven't listened to all of them, but I've listened to probably 20 different shows, maybe, I'm guessing. Might not be that many, but close to that. And I would say that they keep my interest to where sometimes I've listened to them a couple times because I am a AM 1620 Marcellus, Michigan, The Worm listener. And so there's that. I don't know when I'm going to get my bumper sticker or t-shirt from The Worm for being probably the top listener. But maybe
Was that promised to you at
maybe
some
one
point?
day. I mean,
Yes and no?
the bucket was never offered to me, really.
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
back
that-
in the day.
Well, that seems like that'd be rigged if
Yeah.
you got the bucket.
Yeah.
So that doesn't
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Besides, I think the right person got the bucket for sure.
No, well,
Marine Mom.
Yeah, she got the bucket, but the last bucket, it's sitting there still.
It still is there?
Yeah, it is. Still.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so we couldn't
Wow.
get anybody to come. So you have to go get it at the old Madhouse Studios because they're getting ready to transform it a little bit. So it's gonna be moving a little bit. So anyway, so.
Oh, people want a cool bucket full of good stuff.
I
There
think
was something in that bucket I wanted.
I think
it was sunglasses. I was
I-
like, dude, I'll take those. No, that's for the bucket.
I think what it is that it gets a situation where people are nervous what is in the bucket.
It was
you know
cool
what I mean? Like,
stuff.
But and I think that's part of it. Our problem of being promotion wise and to that is we never took a picture.
Yeah,
If
but
we
I
would've
feel like you
taken a-
never talked about the stuff in any of the buckets. You're just like, hey, more stuff is getting added.
Yeah, because
But that's the thing is that was your
It's a
guys' show
surprise.
of like, let's
Yeah.
do a shtick.
yeah,
That's definitely more your and Tony's
Yeah.
jam together, shticks.
yeah,
Versus like informative real
yeah,
things.
yeah.
So I
Not
don't know.
so much, kid.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we incentivize and advertise the bucket and give it away at our back alley barbecue.
I like that. I like that.
Yep.
I like
There's a new
that.
movie coming.
What?
There's a new movie coming.
Oh, we got the movie department coming in. What is the new movie coming?
Stitch.
Oh.
Stitch is coming out.
Live
We
action
just
Stitch,
have,
right? Yeah.
breaking
May
news.
23rd.
Stitch is going to be coming out. That was from our movie department at the radio station
May
here.
23rd.
May 23rd.
Oh, May 23rd.
Yeah, look at you.
Okay.
You did some good research.
I think that
I
is.
didn't research. It came on the TV.
That's perfect. That's
I-
exactly what we needed. May 23rd. Live action Stitch.
Yeah,
Coming.
I think that's right after. I think that's right after Mother's Day.
Not right after, but yeah, close.
Yeah, just throwing it out.
Mother's Day-ish.
Yeah.
We should have a date. Like.
Okay,
all of us.
we'll finish our radio show and then we can talk about it. How's that? Deuces.
Thanks for the movie department for that announcement there.
Yeah, it was great.
That was awesome.
Breaking news.
Breaking news. Stitch.
Stitch live action.
Stitch
May
live
23rd.
action. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
Hey.
She's-
Because
hey, we now have our own investigative reporter.
yes, who would have known the little seeds keep like germinating and now they're growing.
That's it.
So that's awesome. That's
Very good at investigations, we've realized.
yeah. I mean, well, yeah. So, sometimes when you're not wanting to be, it turns out
Fate has other plans.
it is. It's very much true. So it's one of those times you go, okay. So let's see. I had something just a minute ago, and then
Sorry.
that got me. No, it's okay. It's fine. It's fine. That got when the movie thing came out. That just
Threw you for a loop?
threw for just a minute of what I was like. At least the initial.
Your train of thought?
Yeah, which is fine. So.
All right.
I think I spoke about it a little bit ago on the Huey Lewis Back to the Future.
And the news?
Huey Lewis in the news, yeah. The Back to the Future.
Theme song?
Power of Love.
Yep.
And how he didn't really make any money off of it.
Well, didn't he make it specifically for the movie, you said?
Yeah, it was made like, okay.
Gotta settle in here, I can tell.
Yeah, so Steven Spielberg and a couple other people contacted Huey himself and asked them to do this song.
So
for
ask
the-
Huey, but not the news.
Yeah, ask Huey and the news.
Oh, and the news.
And
Okay,
the news,
okay.
if he could do the song. And so Chris, part of the news, and Huey kind of were working on The Power of Love already.
Oh,
And so when they got the script and everything, they kind of were like,
kind of fits, kind of
it doesn't. Like, it has nothing to do with the movie. There's nothing about the DeLorean. There's nothing about time. There's
No,
nothing.
but can you imagine that movie without that song?
No, that's
Yeah.
what's so they sent it over to Steven and the other couple people, and they were like, "This is what we got. This is what we're thinking," and they responded, "We love it."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, it doesn't have all," but they're like, "We love it. We don't care." And so they pretty much signed a contract giving away the song Power of Love on the movie soundtrack and everything for a flat fee.
Oh, yeah, wow.
So that wasn't much money at all.
Right, yeah. I don't know why I have a little thing that's distracting me. Keep going.
So anyway, and it wasn't on their albums. Their in the U.S. printed album, The Power of Love was never on their
the Huey Lewis and the News album. It was,
but
just the
and
soundtrack.
like Japan, well, it was, you could get it to where,
Interesting.
but not like
Interesting.
So, but anyway, just one of those interesting things with Huey and
That's so sad
music
when that
is
happens.
yeah. So like it's almost. I guess it's almost like, I mean, it's not, but it almost is. In a situation, it's like an artist that's made a song, and they didn't really get the credit for it when it was released or whatever, or if it was ever released, and then someone gets a hold of it or whatever and releases it or remixes it or whatever, and it kind of gets pop, but that person is not here to be able to appreciate.
Yeah.
It's the family that's left or whatever.
Yep.
Which I guess in a way is kind of humbling in that's own way too, but like at the same time, it's just another whole interesting
Avenue of
timing.
music.
And just like
because that's the thing. When I think about that movie, truly, I can't imagine that movie without that song. It's so iconic. The beginning, the skateboard, the back of the pickup truck, going to school, like that whole scene.
he even played the song, Michael J. Fox, in the movie when they're the band. Like he has the little band, they're playing the song.
I don't remember that part. I remember playing the Chuck Berry song. I feel like Johnny B. Good. Is that Chuck Berry?
They played They played Power of Love too, because it was played over it.
Huh.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the whole beginning,
Yeah.
right? Where it's just so iconic for that movie. But I guess on the other hand, a way you could look at that too is that song from that movie probably skyrocketed him even more, where
Yeah, sure.
because we do that,
Sure,
right?
go
Like
for
if
it.
you hear a song that you like by somebody, or you hear a song in a movie, like, who is that? You go look it up, and then you end up listening to more of their things. And so there is that full circle piece of it that probably came into play a little bit. It's just the bummer part of, like, you never know when your big hit is going to be,
Yeah.
or how it's going to affect you, or
Yeah.
you just don't know those things
Yeah.
until after the fact. That part's just incredible to me.
Amazing. Kind of like
Yeah.
so.
Well, I just look at that. Like I was giving that advice to actually our kids not that long ago. Or as you live through life, you can look back and go, "That was a fork in the road. That was a fork in the road. That was a fork in the road." Right? Where they were big life decisions where you could kind of see both paths. But in hindsight, where if I could have stayed on that path, or I made this choice and this is where it took me. So I was telling that to our kids the other day about, as you go through life, you can start to recognize those things as they happen, where you realize in the moment, this is a fork in the road moment. Like, I'm going to make this decision and it's going to change the course of my life. And not in any good or bad way, just simply, I can recognize
Perspective.
it. Right, but you don't, like, as it's happening when you're younger, you can't recognize it in those moments. But the more life you live, you start to pick up on those patterns or whatever it is, those feelings, patterns. And now you can kind of, I'm just at that stage where I can start to recognize those big moments in my life where I go, this is a fork. This is going to be life-changing. And not in like a drastic way, just in a way that I go, moving here, right? Like, that's changed the course of our lives in the sense that I feel like we both have more of a mission to be better human beings, an unspoken thing. It's not like we sat and said, hey, let's make this our new mission in life. It's always been a core of who we are, but it's turned more into like, this is a mission for us. And so that was the fork, right? Of like, we made that decision to move here, and it's put us on a new path of being involved in different ways that we weren't in Washington.
But I feel like the need, right? You can see the need.
And then you try to fill it, and you can kind of recognize those things as they happen. And so it's just funny how life does that to you, where, going back to the music piece of, you don't necessarily recognize that in that moment, this is going to be your hit. But then you look back and go, all the things aligned for that to just happen, you know?
Yeah.
It's interesting how that works.
And this connects, because it's all about that hook kind of thing with anything, movie, music,
Yep.
book, piece of art, friend, anything, any relationship, anything. It's all about that kind of spark that made you go, whoa, look twice or, whew, okay,
Appreciate it, or
and just,
whatever it is. Yep.
whatever.
Yep.
I think that's the ultimate is when someone takes it, perceives something as something that they can relate it to, that really it might not have any bearing on what it originally came from, the inspiration, but yet,
Sure.
That person really appreciating, and, as I say, as a musician, I can only imagine what a songwriter that is not necessarily as part of a group that writes for a group. Because it's one thing to write your own stuff and perform it with a
Right.
band because you're up there, but to be a songwriter and not necessarily be up on stage with a group that's performing your song, but you're able to be in the audience. And then, someone kind of looks to you and goes, this song is incredible. This means this, and that guy has no clue. That's the person that wrote the
actually
song
created that, yeah.
means so
Yep.
three other things technically
Yep.
besides, but to hear that, because as a movie producer or director or television or something like that, it's one thing because you see the comments back from people or critics or
Yeah.
fellow actors or directors or producers. But besides a fellow musician or somebody giving you that credit, I don't know if there's many aspects of a songwriter to, write for someone and then be able to be in the audience.
To be anonymous in that way.
Yeah, and to kind of.
I guess art is relatable in that sense
Yeah.
because not everyone knows what an artist looks like,
Sure.
like a visual
Sure.
artist. Musicians are always front and center. Actors always front and
Sure.
center. So
Yeah, that's a good point.
I think in the art world, not everyone knows what you look like. So you can be somewhat anonymous in that way and go to your own art show or go to your mural and hear people talk about
Sure.
it and get that sense of they have no idea and get real, true, heartfelt feedback.
Yeah.
So I guess I can relate to that in that way because I understand it from that perspective. But as an actual front and center musician, like you're saying, I guess there's that part of any artist, I think, in any medium, always has self-doubt.
Sure.
Always.
The biggest critic.
Yeah, always. And so even when someone tells you, you did really great. Oh, thanks, man. And then you still go, but did they just say that?
yeah.
Because I'm here and they wanted to be polite?
They're not here really because
That's what you do naturally as human beings. And so to be able to be anonymous in that way as a songwriter who isn't necessarily visually out there in the world, or an artist who maybe people don't really know what you look like, not as easily.
Yeah.
That's probably the closest, truest feedback you can get. And so that gratification, if someone likes it, is probably just so much more because you know it's real instead of your self-doubt creeping in and telling you it's not real.
Because when someone tells you that after you've performed or you're at an art showing or whatever, when someone shares something like that, you can't hide that energy that you feel like that's like eating a piece of chocolate, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
the dopamine goes off and woo, like it's for someone to take time to say something like that to you.
It means you touched them in some way.
Yeah, I mean, because that's it's one thing for someone to pull out money and support us in those avenues, but it's also super kind that maybe someone doesn't have that money to spend at that point, but they took the time to share their words at that moment that like, hey, I really appreciate what you do, or I really enjoy watching you play, or whatever it might be, or it's just such an interesting thing as artists and stuff of just the vulnerability that allows the creative part to happen, but yet the confidence that you want to showcase what your talent is, but yet how naked and vulnerable you are when it comes to that time. But that's how you know you're doing something really
good and worth
awesome,
doing.
And you're touching your soul and your pores in your body to make them stand up and everything. So, that's definitely a positive thing, and so that's what we're kind of all about is enlightenment and
Human
sharing
connection
just different
yeah.
connections through arts and community and also just having different options to try because we talk a lot about exposing things to kids and everything, but it's important for that. But it's also important that we're all kids.
Yeah.
And it's never too late to take that chance to learn an instrument or to start painting a canvas or you might not achieve what you think you're going to achieve, but I'll damn sure tell you this: if you never start, you're never going to achieve anything.
Sure,
so,
yeah.
not opening that
Just the possibility.
lid and
Yeah.
allowing it to pour out to see what would happen is just really that's a shame. I think when that happens. So I hope we're able to kind of generate something
A spark or something.
in that
yeah.
around town to where like
Yep.
people feel a sense of belonging and their talent can truly shine. So. Yeah,
My daughter did it.
that's
I figured this out. So I feel like I'm so distracted, but the way that our light is shining,
Yeah.
I think I have a gray hair in my eyebrow.
Ah,
And so it's like reflecting on it. Because you know how like when you have a piece of fuzz or something on your eyelash and
Yeah.
you can see it, but you can't quite get it?
yeah.
It's there. It's not that. It's like up here. And so I think it's a gray hair in my eyebrow that's
Yeah.
reflecting. And I keep seeing it when I look at you. And
Yeah.
it's so effing distracting.
I'm sorry,
But I think that's what it is now. And now that I know that,
Yeah.
I feel like it won't bother me as much.
well, I can't see anything as far as
A gray hair?
Yes.
Yeah.
Nor can I see a loose
Fuzz or
hair or
something. Yeah,
anything like
yeah.
that. So
It's
but-
reflection. And it's like, it just keeps, I'm sure of it now.
no, yeah, it's understandable. I mean, you're doing great. You look
Yeah.
awesome. So
No, I just know that I've been like messing with it a lot. And it's like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. But it's driving me bonkers.
yeah,
I can't help it. My brain just keeps going to it. It's
yeah,
nuts.
it's okay. You're doing great.
Anyway, I wanted to say when you were talking about, just at least exposing yourself to that, the possibility of growing and learning, it's my personal belief that we should never, ever, ever stop trying to learn and grow
I love that.
as human
Love
beings.
it.
I just feel like that's our obligation as people to always be expanding our minds
$1,000,000%.
in whatever way we can. 1,000,000%. You smart ass. In whatever way we can. And that's something I wanted to just say about Jim. Is
Yes.
that
Allie
actually,
Lynn,
I was
too.
gonna say, I was just about to back up and say there are a few older folks in our town that really strive to learn and grow and modernize and progress with the times of just having an understanding of what's happening in today's world and not be set in their ways and their day. And that's part of why I feel so connected to Jim in particular, just because we've had a lot of time to talk about a lot of things, is because he's always so open to just tell me more. I might not agree on everything, but tell me more. I want to learn more. I want to
Knowledge.
experience more.
Seeking knowledge, right?
And that was part of why he was like, "Ew, this is way out of my comfort zone." But I think he looked at it as a chance to grow. I'm
Yes.
like, okay, this might be a little weird, but when am I going to get this chance again? All right.
Yeah.
And here we are. We've evolved our beer tastes.
Yeah.
We like beers now that we didn't like a year ago. So it just goes to show, and I can learn so much from him, and I think he would acknowledge the same, that he's been able to learn so much from me.
Yeah.
And so again, if we don't take the time to, it's not focus on growing and learning, it's just being open to
Yeah.
that. So I don't focus on it, makes it seem like a chore.
Yeah.
But also I would challenge people to just have conversations
Yeah.
with people.
Yeah.
Because that is a habit I feel like a lot of us as humans have gotten out of, particularly after COVID.
And the phone, having
the phone, the internet,
Yeah. Yeah.
we have made it a rule in our house pretty much since day one that, cell phones aren't allowed at the table when we're eating.
Yeah.
And restaurants, home,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because that's our time to socialize and talk with each other. But you see so many people out in public where it's like it's a whole family sitting together and they're just all on their phones. No interaction, no communication. That's just so foreign to me. But that's what we've gotten used to when we're waiting in lines, when we're at the doctor's office, when we're waiting for the bus, when we're even at the line at the checkout in the grocery store. Everyone's on their phones.
Yeah.
Instead of just saying hi and making eye contact with somebody,
Agreed.
we miss out on those opportunities for like inspiration and something new to spark. And give somebody a compliment, and that could have been the one nice thing that they heard all day long. We
Kept
don't
on
know.
going.
Yeah. So I challenge people to just be more open out there in the world and interact with your fellow human beings. It's contagious.
Yeah, yeah.
Once you start to do that, it just fills you
Yeah.
up, and it
Yeah.
makes you want to do it more, and
Yeah.
it feels so nice to have good interactions in public.
Inspiration moves me brightly.
Yeah.
I would like to say, with you and Mr. Jim, Mr. Sully went on to the Rainbow Bridge, and I was worried about Mr. Jim at that point, and just because his buddy and but I know he didn't start the show in that sense. You just wanted to kind of hang out, but I kind of feel like he hasn't really needed to rescue another dog. Because his kids.
Well, his fear was that he would go
Yeah.
before the dog,
Yes,
and then
yeah.
who would take it, and that
Exactly.
didn't feel right.
Exactly. So now he doesn't want, but I feel like because of that avenue, it's also allowed him to pour that energy and that, I don't want to say hole, but void or to just have something to, a purpose. Not he had a purpose, but the radio show, the podcast you guys do, Back Alley Brews, is a dog that needed to be walked at times
Sure.
and needed to be pottied, but it didn't need necessarily be fed dog food, but it needed to be fed in a way. And so all those things that we needed, it needed me to take care of it.
Yeah.
And so I think that's the part of the show that I think he loves it and you love it in so many ways. But I think that I don't know if either one of you can really see that because you're in that moment of where everything is. But that's for an outsider that's known about the show since the beginning and everything. But I'm a little biased because you're involved naturally, and I do love Mr. Jim, so that naturally is something. But I think it's a damn good show, period. But that's the other part that I think is. Because you're talking about community and helping each other.
Yep.
I think that speaks to what you were just saying as far as helping each other. And maybe sometimes you don't even have to really say anything on that topic necessarily. It's just your actions can really lead to something really beautiful.
Yeah, he's mentioned it before because, again, every day he'd go out at roughly the same time, and it'd be him and the dog, and then that's his mode. He would tinker while the dog waits. They'd listen to music. They'd just hang out.
He's
hang out.
big bluegrass fan, but also just loves music, blues, blues
Country,
music, just just a lover of music kind of.
But yeah, they would just hang out. And so I think, in his world, he said it not that long ago. He's like, he is kind of the purpose, I think, of starting this. So he even said it. Because Sully would take the last sips of the beer too, so they'd share a beer together, right? So it's that sentiment. But
now Ocean does that.
yeah, I know, it's just so weird, like a random, like a dog that likes beer after that. It's so funny. But I think that's it. It's he still goes out and tinkers and puts around the garage. It's not the same, but that still is like it's the routine of that and having that weekly routine.
Where it's an hour. It's a good, I know you guys hang out a little bit longer than that usually, but like you do an hour, 45-minute recording, and then, so I think it's just priceless.
Yep,
kind of
it
stuff.
is. It is. Well, and again, I get stories that I'm never going to hear from anybody else.
Yep.
Stories from generations long before me, and stories of life and just how it's changed.
Yeah.
So it's just, I get all of those things, and that's amazing to me, because it's like, some of the things that I've been told, not that they're secrets or anything, it's just, he probably won't ever say them again to anybody else, because why? The time and the opportunity for him to tell that, it's never going to happen again. And so I think of those things, and I've lost my grandparents. You've lost yours, right? We still have a grandparent or two that are out there, but we don't have that full connection to our grandparents. And so that's the next closest thing I can think of, and honestly, it's like he doesn't really have grandchildren per se, and so I think it's helpful for him too.
Yeah.
You know,
And he-
fishing, fly fishing. I mean, just everything. It's the gamut is just it's everywhere.
And he just loves hearing, Miss Diane also his wife, but they love hearing the young boy. That was why they were grateful that we moved in because we
With
had
kids.
with kids,
Yeah.
because they knew that
Makes them happy,
make
the
noise
sounds.
and all the sounds and everything. So, so-
Appreciate your elders.
Yep, that's
what
what
I'm
we're
getting
saying,
at. Is that I feel like in our country, our culture, it's not multi-generational like it is in a lot of places, and I don't think on the whole, I'm not saying there aren't exceptions, but on the whole, we treat our elderly population like they're expendable and like they're past their prime, they're useless to us now. Now they're a burden. We have to take care of them. They can't contribute anymore. I mean, the whole medical system, the whole social security system, all that's set up to say you don't matter to our economy anymore, therefore you're useless.
Yeah.
The paperwork they have to go through to get help, all of it, it's just frustrating.
stats paper like that. How you
It's
supposed
so
to-
frustrating. So we don't appreciate
Yeah.
our elderly population and we don't take care of them like we should. So at the very least, we can make time because they exist and
Yeah.
they have worth and they have stories and they have perspective and they can contribute. It's just a lot of people don't give them that chance
Yes.
anymore.
Yes.
And that's part of my duty as a decent human being, I feel like. And it just so happens to be that I really love hanging out with the guy. You know?
Which is the extra
And
bonus.
that's the icing. And
Yeah.
so it just is wonderful. And so again, that's our challenge for today on Earth Day
Yeah.
is to just be a good human being.
Yeah.
Do your part. That's what
Yeah.
I'd like to
Yeah.
say.
Exactly. I mean, that's the whole thing. I think that's the conversation. I like to think that we moved here 2 years ago, and I'm confident in saying that pretty much surrounding us, we've got probably 75% of the neighbors that we interact with on a regular basis.
Sure. Yeah.
And we've got a couple neighbors that Mr. Jim and his kids, they live. One of his sons and his wife live across the street from us. So our house and our yard kind of separate each other with the alley that they share from Back Alley Brews. So they have the dogs and everything. So they always try to walk by, and we're like, we don't care. Just walk through our yard. We don't care. And so that's the part what we're trying to say is that just be in that moment. It's all good. But at the same time, I will say this. Part of being that is we don't care that they do walk across it, but they're so courteous that they walk up to the corner of where our yard,
Our property line is,
and they're
practically getting poison ivy. Just
they walk across it to get back to their place. And so when they could easily just make a diagonal cut a little bit, but I think that's their part of saying no, we know it, but we're going to be respectful. And but anyway, it's from where we are, where we're at and everything. It's some things have been a little bit frustrating, but I feel like determination, devotion, and our will to be part of something larger than ourselves.
Us. Yep.
Has led us to this point
prevails.
right
Yeah.
now.
Yep.
So,
It's
so I
all
think
good
that's
things too. I
so-
feel like all of it. You got to take the bad with the good.
yeah.
And it's all good things.
Well, if you didn't
It's
have something to base it on, you would never know
no,
what
it's
to.
even good.
Yeah. So that's that,
Yep.
that line of that.
It's your classic, perspective, Erica.
Yeah.
You're always telling me that perspective. You got to have perspective. I complained about an 11 o'clock thing that I'm not going to be ready for tomorrow, and you're like, well, it could have been at 9. Okay, fair point. You're good about that perspective, and so that's it. It's bad things happen. Bad people are in the world. The world isn't always full of goodness, but you can always find goodness
Yeah.
if you look for it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is just having that perspective. So.
Definitely.
That felt really preachy tonight, but I love it. I love that kind of topic. We're at 9:45.
Okay, so we're probably pretty good tonight because it's been kind of It's great. It's been, I like, that's part of the thing I think with our show is we don't know what but that's what you're getting. It's real. It's raw.
You get the
it's
good stuff, you
unedited.
get the serious.
Yeah, but this is something like we're just hanging out. This is what we do. This is kind of, you see us, and ultimately, I'm grateful for this. So thanks for being here. I appreciate
I love
you
it.
sitting in, and not just sitting in tonight and everything, but sitting in and being a part of this
Crazy
whatever
journey
this
that
is
I know.
and everything. So you've always been, not to get all too, but like it's important for me to say this too, but you've always just been really supportive of me and a lot of my ventures that I try to do and everything. And so I just I'm just truly grateful for that, because it takes a lot sometimes, and
To be with you?
to just probably so, but I just want to kind of return that energy back to, and sometimes I might not always do that as well as I'd like to, but I try to do better each time, and I'm grateful to be walking this world with you and everything, and
Well,
so
maybe good team.
yep. Appreciate you guys for tuning in.
Yes,
AM
appreciate you. That was fun.
AM 1620, The Worm. You can check out all the local businesses in downtown Marcellus. Electric Moon will be open Wednesday through Saturday, 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. You can also hit us up if you need to get in after hours or something. You can reach out to our friend Whitney. She's supposed to be dropping some flyers soon and cards
Awesome. Okay.
for her massage business and everything. So hopefully we'll have that soon. Maybe for next week's show we'll try to have that information and everything. But thanks for listening. We appreciate you guys, and we'll catch you sometime next week on Monday.
Monday.
Sometime after 9ish, after Open Jam-ish. So appreciate it. Take care, and until next time, I'm about to go up there and push the button.
Okay. Peace out.
That's all, so see you way bye. Gotta go. Y'all know how this is gonna work here.
Let me see if I can't help you.
Let me see. It's not really working. It's not really working. It's not really working. It's not really